And I can't represent myself. I am myself. I'm a Moorish American national.
You don't just come in and say, I'm my own country, I'm going to do what I want. So you're going to jail.
This one starts off like a bad joke. The defendant looks straight at the judge and says, I can't represent myself. I am myself. Yeah, that's the level of logic we're dealing with here. This man proudly calls himself a Moorish American national, claiming he's not bound by the laws of Michigan, or apparently reality. But this Michigan judge isn't buying a single word of it. This defendant, who's missed court not once, not twice, but 3 times, finally shows up, and still has the nerve to argue about sovereignty. The judge has been patient for months. He gave
3 separate driving suspended charges that were scheduled for jury trial. File 21213ST alleges driving suspended second offense on January 31st, 2021 here in St. Joseph County. File 202073 alleges driving suspended on September 17th here in St. Joseph County. I think there may be a speeding charge with that. File 202653 also charges driving suspended second offense and forgery and speeding. All those matters were scheduled for jury trial today, November 10th. Mr. Morrow Bay wishes to represent himself on these matters. He has a perspective on the Michigan Motor Vehicle Code that disagrees with the state's version of it, but he didn't want an attorney and didn't wish to have representation. He wanted to represent himself in all of these matters. So we treated him like an attorney. We set the matter for a final pretrial to prepare for jury trial. And he didn't show up. So there are presently 3 arrest warrants for Mr. Morrow Bay's arrest for failing to appear for duly scheduled last pretrials about 3 weeks ago. We don't show up on the morning of trial with a basket full of papers and inconvenience 30 to 50 jurors who have to come in and hear your case and several witnesses without preparing for it. So we scheduled a pretrial conference and you didn't show up. So I've called off the jurors for today and the prosecutor has called off all the witnesses. And there are currently 3 separate warrants for your arrest for failing to appear. But you're here now.
I think I was unaware.
We sent that to the address that you gave us. And if you're representing yourself, you need to act like you're representing yourself. We sent you duly notice to your Sage Street address in Kalamazoo. The same notice you got for this.
I don't live there anymore, and I can't represent myself. I am myself.
All right, well, I'm not clairvoyant. I don't know that you moved. So, Mr. McNair, you're driving me crazy. I'm going to put you in the waiting room. You're walking all over the place and flashing the screen and giving me vertigo, and you're sideways and upside down. And so I'll be with you in a bit. Don't go away. Yes, that's your position. Then you're not doing a very good job of it, because you didn't tell me where you lived. You didn't show up for a pretrial while we prepare for this. And now you come rolling in with a hat on the morning that your 30 or 40 jurors are supposed to be here. That's not a very good way to do business.
It's my religious headdress. I'm a Moorish American national.
Yes, I recall.
this guy chance after chance. But patience only goes so far, and today, that patience runs out. Judge Middleton calmly lays out the facts. 3 separate driving while suspended charges, all scheduled for trial. But instead of preparing, this guy just didn't show up. Now there are 3 active warrants out for his arrest, and he strolls into court wearing a hat, waving papers, and acting like the rules don't apply to him. And when the judge calls him out, He doubles down, says his hat is religious headwear, and that he's a man of the land. At this point, you can almost see the judge trying not to roll his eyes. Honestly, it's something you see all the time with these sovereign citizen types. They act like the courtroom is a stage and the judge is just part of their performance. But this judge? He's not entertaining the show. He reminds the defendant, if you're representing yourself, then act like it. That means showing up, following court rules, and not blaming the system.
All right.
Proven jurisdiction to begin with.
Ms. Davis is here
I'm still waiting for
on
jurisdiction.
behalf of the prosecutor's office. Ms. Davis, do you have any thought on this?
Your Honor, I would ask that he be held in contempt for failing to appear at the last pretrial. I would also ask that an order enter regarding discovery if all of these items that he's holding on to are intended to be used as exhibits at the trial. I would like to have copies of those so that we can be prepared. Also, I'd like to have our motion for joinder of the cases heard so we can settle that matter prior to choosing the jury and having another date set.
Right in the middle of my busy arraignment morning when I have 14 people waiting to be arraigned, that probably won't work out too good.
If we
But
get
it's
an
all on
updated
him.
address.
He didn't show up. He also got notice of your motion. Mr. Morrow Bay, do you have documents that you were going to present as part of your defense?
I mean, I mailed in documents and I never got a response.
Well, did you have some? Do you have some you wish to present?
I mailed in an affidavit to you more than once, and this is also my legal notice for my lawful name change, because I put it on the record that I'm a Moorish American national and I'm not American or a U.S. citizen. Excuse me. I'm a man of the land. I'm native to the land. So so a lot of these rules that that the state of Michigan is creating is not applicable to me, unfortunately.
For your own mess. But this guy's logic is something else entirely. He claims Michigan law doesn't apply to him because he's not a U.S. citizen.
Respectful to the court and let the court know since the beginning in a respectful manner. And I have lots of documentation to prove it.
All right. I want you to take Mr. Perdue into custody.
Okay.
We're going to execute the 3 bench warrants that are currently out for his arrest for contempt. We'll take him to jail and we'll make an arrangement later to discuss.
Are you arresting me right now? Wow.
I don't have time to do it now.
All
Thank you.
right.
Bye. Mr. Perdue, you're going to jail, the St. Joe County Jail here in St. Joe County, and I'm going to hold on to you in lieu of 3 $1,000 bonds till we can review your contempt and the other things we need to deal with. But if you're going to represent yourself, you need to do it right. You need to show up when you're supposed to show up. You need to follow the rules of evidence and procedure. You don't just come in and say, I'm my own country, I'm going to do what I want. So you're going to jail.
I was unaware.
The bond is $1,000 per file, and I will talk with you later. So right now you're going to the St. Joe County Jail. All right,
Thank
we'll
you.
deal with him, Deborah, when we have more time.
Thank
But he's clearly in contempt. And he is his own person, so he isn't representing himself. He is himself. We'll see if we can sort that.
Just a national. I mean, come on. You're driving on Michigan roads in Michigan with Michigan plates, but the law somehow doesn't count. At this point, the prosecutor jumps in, tired of the circus, and asks the judge to hold him in contempt for skipping his pretrial hearings. She's also asking for the court to get copies of whatever documents this guy is waving around. And right on cue, he claims he's already mailed his affidavits to the court. What affidavits, you ask? Oh, just his lawful name change and a stack of papers claiming he's immune to state law because he's native to the land. The judge listens just long enough to give him rope, then drops the hammer. He orders deputies to take him into custody right there in court. The judge says it plain and simple. You don't just come in and say, I'm my own country, I'll do what I want. So you're going to jail. $3,000 per file, 3 separate cases, 3 separate failures to appear. That's what it took to land him exactly where he belongs, in a cell. And honestly, that ending was so satisfying. Judge Middleton doesn't yell, doesn't argue. He just calmly dismantles every bit of this nonsense with cold, professional authority. It's like watching a teacher quietly hand out a detention slip to the loudest kid in class. And what gets me every time? These people say they're not citizens, but they sure love using the roads, the courts, and the rights this country gives them. They want all the perks and none of the responsibility. It's laughable, but also kind of sad. This man thought he could outsmart the system with YouTube law school arguments. Instead, he ended up in a real jail, with a real judge who's absolutely done wasting time. So what do you think? Was Judge Middleton too harsh, or did this guy get exactly what he earned after ignoring 3 hearings and mocking the court? Let me know down in the comments. I read them all. And as always, thank you for watching. Stay sharp, stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next one.